Well guys, here is a very productive way to catch crappie. Very simple, pretty easy. You don't have to use this cork if you want to use the snap-on corks or or whatever. You don't have to use a slip bobber, but there's benefits for using a slip bobber like this. And I'm fixing to show you mega benefits with it. Now we have a Northern Light Bite balsa wood cork. This is a 7/8 oval. It's got some cracks and it's pretty beat up, but these are professional corks. They got a brass insert on the top, and they're very, very good for crappie fishing and, you know, brim fishing also. But anyway, guys, I got her pinned with some rubber bobber stoppers. Now, if you look, I got a little knot right there on the top. Just kind of holds them in place a little tighter. Same thing on the bottom. There's a little knot right there. And I'll show you what's going on here. So I cast this out there. I want to be able to twitch that without making a whole bunch of waves on the top of the water. So I can cast it out there, and while it's sitting in the water, I can just barely twitch it like that right there. And I can make that jig do some stuff, and without moving that cork very much at all. Now, if I get a snag down there, I can just take my reel and reel down to these rubber bobber stoppers and push them, and they'll go on down to my jig hook, and then I can poke and it'll unhook the snag if I get snagged in a treetop or something. But that's what I do. I just use these old rubber bobber stoppers, so I got a little extra twitching power. Now, another thing we got going on here is I usually use a tight knot. You can use a loose knot, a loop knot or whatever. That works good too, but I like to keep it like this. That way it keeps my minnow, whether I'm fishing him upside down or right side up, it keeps the minnow and the jig and the crappie bite, all of it sitting straight across horizontal with the water, like it's more of a natural presentation instead of it be hanging like this. Now, if you have weighted jig heads, you can weight them and stuff, and you can make them sit up like that on their own. But I use a tight knot, that way I can control it a little better. Now, you can use a crappie bite. This works good, twitching power, and for the twitching power, but you can also beef up your lure with a live minnow. And this is what I like about a live minnow. I'll take this thing and I'll hook him right on top of the head, right between the eyes. Now, it looks like I'm hooking him normal, but believe it or not, when he's hanging in the water, upside down, he looks wounded. So that's one thing I'm doing, is setting this up so it'll be a wounded bait. And then I'll just cast it out there, let it sit for 4 or 5 Mississippis, give it time for the fish to look at it and smell it and all that stuff. Maybe he'll taste it, hopefully, and then you just pop it maybe once and then pop it again.